Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today is very exciting because we are doing a big haul. This box is a bunch of painting stuff from Jerry's Artarama that I ordered recently, and I thought I would show you guys what I decided to pick up. So let's get inside this box right now. Let's get started with opening some stuff up. So I did order one paintbrush. So I wanted to try a brush that was advertised as a synthetic Kolinsky. So this is a mimic Kolinsky. And then right here, this is a set of watercolors. These are Chinese, and the brand is called Marie's. But I wanted to get a set of liquid watercolors so that I can refill some of like my empty pans or make my own color palette. So that's the idea with these. I do have some watercolor pans, so like the cakes of watercolor, which are nice and I like them, but I wanted to see what the difference is, you know, really working with these two different types of mediums. And I think that this is a little bit better for making your own palette, is to look at the liquid ones, and then you can fill individual pans on like a palette with your preferred colors. So this is just an experiment with this brand. I've never used it before, but it was on sale, pretty cheap. So however it works out is good because it was very inexpensive. Some more paint. These were some Sinelli acrylics that were on sale, and these are the squishy pouches, which I really like. I've gotten into these because it's fun to use, and I really like that they do this like clear panel so you can really see the color on the inside. I think that's like something that we needed to have a long time ago. So this is lemon yellow because I'm almost out of my one that I already had. So this is the only color that I got just because it is something that I needed. Again, another, this is just a lot right now. This is a little bit bigger than I expected, but honestly, I will use all of this for sure. This is the Turner Acryl Gouache, and this is titanium white, so a very opaque white compared to like a zinc or a mixing white, which are going to be less intense, less opaque. So I've been using up my little tubes of white paint. Let me see, it's over here actually. Like, I've been using this up like crazy. I have a mixing white and a regular white in these small tubes, and they're almost all gone. So when I saw that the Turner Acryl Gouache was on sale at Jerry's, I was like, heck yes, I am getting the biggest white that they have, and that's kind of what I have here. So this will last a long time and be quite useful. I won't have to worry as much about, you know, using up my white. Okay guys, I took a little break because we had a little messy emergency in the box, and I wanted to separate everything out. So all the paints came in these little boxes, which was nice because it kept them protected. However, one of the boxes had 4 of these watercolor tubes shoved into it, and what happened was that one of these got sliced. So you can see that basically this guy was like completely inside here. So I'll email Jerry's and let them know about that. We'll see how that goes, but I mean, you can see the color at least, and it's pretty inaccurate compared to the outside of the tube, so that's kind of interesting. But in addition to this Terre Verte, so the other watercolors that I bought are this Van Dyke Brown, and then, oh shit, I'm getting myself all messy again. I forgot which ones had paint on it. So this is Indigo, which is one of my favorite colors in watercolor, so I had to get that one. As well as Payne's Gray is another one that I use a lot. This is Freshwater. Again, I'm thinking about colors for, you know, mostly landscapes and stuff like that. This is Permanent Gamboge, even though you can't see it because it has paint on it, so a nice yellow. I don't really feel like the watercolors I have like have a good yellow shade, so that was the decision between that Permanent Gamboge, and then I bought this, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's this like Juan or Juan Brilliant, which is the color that I really like out of the Acryl Gouache, so I bought it in watercolor as well. Let me just wipe off my hands. So for the rest of the Acryl Gouache, I bought the small tubes in some colors that I wanted to try. Basically, I've been finding myself mixing a ton of grays and like muted tones and light tones, so I bought some things that would help me with that. And the 4 small tubes that I got are the grayish blue, grayish beige, and then a neutral gray, which is looking like it's going to be a little bit lighter. So just a range there of grays. And then also I bought one of these Japanesque colors. I don't really know what the difference is supposed to be between the regular acrylic gouache and the Japanesque, but this was this nice pale green color, so I just picked that out because it was springy and nice, and we'll see if there is really any difference between those two. Since all the acrylic gouache was on sale, I also bought this palette cleaner just sort of on a whim, because I noticed even with my ceramic palette, I have issues cleaning off the acrylic gouache. It's very hard to like chip off there when it's dried. So this will be something to definitely test out in a future video, and I'll let you guys know if this is worth it. But it also comes in this cute little jar, which will be reusable, so that's kind of nice. Last item is this Strathmore Mixed Media Sketchbook, and this is the 500 series, which is like their mixed media, and it's one of the heavier papers that they make for like their paper pads and sketchbooks. This is a soft cover, and it's also soft touch, so it feels really nice. It is like a regular binding instead of spiral bound because I'm left-handed and I really hate spiral bound. I'm really only going to buy something spiral bound if the paper is like absolute bomb, because it's just super annoying to use as a left-handed person. So this is not that long. It's only 64 pages, but it's pretty nice, and it's a little bit larger than what I've been using in the past, like, I want to say a few years, but it's been a lot of years. Like since college, all I've been using are really Moleskine journals and Moleskine sketchbooks in the 5.5 by 8 size, which is a lot smaller than this. And I've been like wanting to work bigger, and I feel like my Print Fresh sketchbook is too big, so this is something that's in between those two sizes. So I got the idea for buying this one from Lee Ellickson. This is one of the sketchbook brands that she's been using. So this is my experiment with the Strathmore as well. I've been a fan of Strathmore papers lately for watercolor and for gouache, so we're giving this a chance, and I was able to get this on sale as well. These are definitely available in more like big box stores like a Michael's or Joann's and things like that. So definitely don't buy this full price. Like wait till you can get a coupon, which is kind of nice about the brands like Strathmore. There were a couple issues with the order, I will say. Obviously there's a damaged item. I get it. You know, somebody just shoved too many in there and didn't think about it. But also this was my first order on this account, so I was supposed to get a welcome something. They said there's some like welcome gift with your first order, and obviously there's nothing else in this box. There's just this little Yupo advertisement. So I'm going to email them and just let them know, because I kind of wanted to show you guys what sort of came with that. I think maybe we'll do a little swatch of everything so that you can see the watercolors and the gouache that I picked out, and we'll do it maybe in the back of the sketchbook. So part 2, we'll do swatches of everything that I got. Let's clean up everything and get to that. Okay, so we're going to swatch these in the Strathmore sketchbook. I'm just opening up to the back, and let's start with Marie's because there's a lot more of these to do. So where's my palette paper? So I'm just going to do it section by section. They're seeming pretty pigmented so far, which is nice. I will say that for the price of this set, I mean, it's a lot, you know, and they're pretty well pigmented. I wouldn't say these are like top of the line, but they're very nice. I think you know, if you're concerned about like light vastness and something like that, I may not get a lower end brand like this, but okay, so there's the black, very rich. Okay, so those were the Marie's watercolors, and then I want to get out the Turners just to compare. We're just gonna have to be careful because they're still kind of messy. So I'm just gonna try and get a little bit of this Terra Verte out of the hole that's in the opening. See if I can get any of that. So I wanted like a muted green. I mean, very often you'll get these like super bright greens in your sets of color. Okay, so here's the Turner, and this is Terra Verte. Just seems quite light, although I can't really tell if it's because of me or because of, I don't know, you know, whether this got affected because it was crunched open, I don't know. So we'll move on and we'll do a little bit. So these are not the punch ones, so they're already open. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's a little bit different. The Turner watercolors were really nice. I particularly like the sort of aqua shade, but the Terra Verte is a bit of a weird color. It doesn't seem very pigmented even when I got the replacement, so that one's a little bit of a weirdo. And then this was the like Juan or Juan, however you pronounce it, the Brilliant color. So this is like a yellow, a light yellow, and it's a little bit more orangey in the acrylic gouache. So I will say like the comparison between the colors, between watercolor and acrylic gouache is maybe not as accurate. So I could show you the acrylic gouache. Let me see if I have that right here. It's probably one of my ones. So there it is in the acrylic gouache. So you can already tell that it's showing as more of a orange shade in acrylic gouache. It's all over my palette actually because I really like to use this color. So I'll put those next to each other. So there you can see it's completely different. So I was hoping for something more like that or closer to that. I think it read a little more yellow on the website too, so I don't think that they were inaccurate in their showcase of that, but they're definitely completely different colors. And I have my 4 shades of acrylic gouache that I bought as well. So we will test this and hopefully my camera doesn't die. Please don't die. I squirt a little tiny dot of these out because I probably won't be able to use this. It mix a lot of grays like going in for skies and things or like clouds. So I was finding like I was overkilling it on the white, just trying to mix a gray. So like, okay, why don't I buy a couple of grays that are pre-made because I use it so much. Hi guys, I wanted to follow up with you because I got my replacement order from Jerry's Artarama, which I was showing you earlier. I had one damaged item. It was the Turner watercolor tubes, and so it was the green shade that I bought, and it came kind of sliced open. I think like on the edge of another tube, so they do have like kind of sharp corners, so that's pretty understandable. So they sent me this. It took them about a day to respond to my email, and then it took like another week for them to send the replacement order. So they sent this little guy, which arrived just fine, and they sent me some items from the welcome kit, which didn't come in my original order as well. So I got the reusable water bottle, which is just Jerry's branded item, which is just kind of fun. And they also sent me an eraser as well, which I actually needed something like this because I've been using my white eraser up like crazy. And so this one it's called Vanish 4-in-1 eraser. I don't know what the 4-in-1 means, but it's just a regular white eraser inside, and this is a made in Korea product. So overall, it was pretty easy to deal with them in terms of getting the item taken care of. I just sent them a picture and, you know, no hassle really. It was just another week of waiting. So it took, you know, 2 weeks from really when I ordered that. So I'm eager to hear what your favorite item was from this order. So let me know if you had a particular favorite or something that you'd like to see more of in future videos, and I'll be sure to feature that stuff in my studio vlogs or the speed paint video. So let me know what you guys were interested in seeing more of. I've already been using some of the gouache and the Marie's watercolors, and I'm really happy with those so far. I'm already familiar with the Turner acrylic gouache, and those have all been great so far. The Marie's I'm actually surprised by because they're pretty well pigmented when they go on to the paper, and so that's been great because it was a very small investment for that set. So the only thing that I'm a little bit wary of with the watercolors, being that they're a little bit more inexpensive, is how color fast they are. So are they going to fade with time? And so that's something that it'll take a while to really figure out if that's a problem. But I haven't seen any issues yet. I've only really used them in my sketchbook, so that'll be a good place to go back and reference how well those particular items were color fast, since the sketchbook is rarely exposed for a long period of time to the light. So it's a good example of the paints just fading on their own versus fading from being exposed to light for a long period of time. So I hope you enjoyed this haul / unboxing video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more art videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.